And for our final story, let's talk about TikTok. It's an app Washington wanted gone. It's the app that Beijing didn't want to give up. The popular video sharing platform was starting at a ban in the United States. Now, that ban has been dodged. A news peace deal is in place to keep TikTok alive in the US. Donald Trump is claiming credit for making it happen. Trump is also thanking Chinese President Xi Jinping for approving the agreement, saying Beijing could have blocked it, but didn't. Because this wasn't just a business deal. It was the end of a long political standoff involving national security fears, US-China tensions, and an app used by millions of Americans every single day. So, what exactly is this deal? Well, TikTok's Chinese parent, ByteDance, has agreed to create a new US-based joint venture. This venture will control the app's American operations. Before we get to the details, here's some quick context. In 2024, the US government had passed a law. It said one simple thing: if TikTok stays Chinese-owned, it cannot operate in America, because US lawmakers believe TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is too close to the Chinese state. The fear is that American user data could be accessed by China, and Beijing might use it to spread propaganda. So Washington gave TikTok an ultimatum: sell your business or shut it down in the US. As the deadline approached, creators panicked. Businesses were worried. Millions of users didn't know if the app would vanish. More than 170 million Americans use TikTok. So naturally, this was a big deal. In January 2025, TikTok went dark in the US briefly. It sent shockwaves through the creator economy.
Thrilled. I cried last night, actually, while we were out, when I realized it wasn't working. So this is like thrilling. I'm so happy. I mean, I was scared. I really was scared it was gonna go. I kind of didn't believe people when they were saying it was gonna be gone. So last night, not being able to open the app was triggering and upsetting and really scary. And I don't want to feel that way again. So I'm really happy that it's back.
TikTok has provided a livelihood for me. After losing my job in mainstream media, I have been able to pivot and have a platform on TikTok to gather news and to even brand myself as the joy of everything. I cover everything: breaking news in Los Angeles and celebrity content, and as well as entertain through a comedic and pop culture lens. And it's really allowed me to just have a community of supporters who I actually really consider as friends.
But the crisis has now been averted, and TikTok lives in the US. This will be a joint venture. First, let's talk about the ownership. ByteDance is not leaving completely, but its role is being reduced. It will now own 19.9% of the new US joint venture. And this figure is not random. The US law that was passed said Chinese ownership must stay below 20%, so ByteDance stays under the line legally. Now, who owns the rest? Three major investors take 15% each. One is Oracle, an American tech company. Another is Silver Lake, a US private equity firm. And the third is MGX, an artificial intelligence investment fund based in Abu Dhabi. Together, these three hold a big chunk. There are other investors involved too, but these three are the central players. The key idea here is easy. Majority ownership in American hands, that's what saves TikTok. Now, ownership is one angle of this deal, but what about decision making? Well, the new US joint venture will control trust and safety, rules about harmful content moderation of US users. That power will sit inside the US entity and not China. However, TikTok is still a global app, so its global team will continue handling international aspects of the business, like advertisements across countries or e-commerce features. Next is data, which is the biggest concern. US user data will be stored on Oracle's secure cloud. The CEO of this venture will be Adam Presser. He is an executive from TikTok, while Will Farrell is going to be the chief security officer. So, no ban or overnight disruption, but this TikTok investment didn't come out of nowhere. US leaders, including Trump during his first term, warned that China could use TikTok to influence Americans. That fear led to the 2024 law, but Trump later changed his tone. He credited TikTok for helping him connect with young voters. Instead of enforcing the ban, he delayed it repeatedly. The final deadline was pushed to January 22nd. That delay gave space for this deal.
We'll take a look at TikTok. You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. And there are those that say that TikTok had something to do with it.
In the end, this tells us one important thing. Nobody wanted TikTok gone. Not the US government, not China, and not millions of users. So, instead of a ban, everyone bent. Washington got control on paper, China kept a stake in practice, and Donald Trump, he got another headline.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, Firstpost America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is Firstpost America.